certainly did not expect that, Dave. The thanks really goes to the men and women of the Stockton Police Department who, right now, as we sit in here, they're out there putting their lives on the line, potentially for people they've never met before in their life, because police work is a calling. Many people go into it, should go into it, because their heart has been drawn to it, because God has drawn them to follow their calling, to be guardians of our community, and that's what we expect them to be. They do stand on that line between good and bad, chaos and order. Very, very few people can do that work, and even fewer actually desire to do that work. So I really take that thanks, but I pass it along humbly to the men and women that are out there actually putting their lives on the line each and every day. Thank you very much for having me here today. Thank you, Wayne Richardson. Thank you, David Madure, for that introduction. But thank you all for being here. And my congrats to the graduates. You're the reason I'm here today. It's my honor to be here in front of you five to congratulate you and maybe give you some kind words that moving forward. But it's really my honor to be here in front of you. And we're all greater persons today by seeing the accomplishments that you've made. And we hope the other graduates will be here to see you on this stage as well. Dave and I were talking a little bit before the ceremony today, and he said something that actually really resonated with me. And that is, we are all linked to the greater good of our community. Everybody here today is linked together, whether law enforcement or the various disciplines and organizations, just community members, those with the accomplishments today. We are all linked and brought here today for the greater good of our community. And if we all want a better and a safer community, there's nothing that we cannot do together. And I got to know these five a little bit. We got to visit some. And you are amazing individuals. You really are. And you've moved me today. So I just want you to know that. The Gospel Center Rescue Mission has a mission statement to present spiritual, physical, and emotional restoration. And that's very similar to something we recently did at our police department. We have something called a wellness network. And that wellness network, and it's new for us, but we have realized, and hopefully you know this, officers are human too. We're all human. We're all infallible. We're fallible. And so knowing that our officers also need to have spiritual, physical, and emotional wellness is important. So we have a physical wellness program. We expect our officers to be in shape, to be able to handle themselves for the community's betterment. We expect them to have emotional wellness. They see and experience things that no human should ever have to see and experience. So they need to have emotional wellness as well. But spiritual wellness is important, and we have one of, if not the largest, police chaplaincy programs in the United States, definitely on the West Coast. We're very proud of that chaplaincy program because the officers need that spiritual wellness. And that's all together, we look at it as a triangle. Think of it like the Trinity. But the triangle as far as emotional, physical, and spiritual wellness. Gospel Center Rescue Mission has 7 core programs. I'm just going to mention them here briefly. But they are why we need the programming like this for our community. Emergency lodging, a new life program, family shelter, recuperative care, representative payee services, clothing and furniture ministry, and nonprofit free training. And these programs are meeting the needs of our community. I'm up here as a law enforcement executive. You may be wondering what's the police chief doing here, but all of these things do tie to the quality of life of our communities, and they have potential to impact crime rates as well, to reduce crime. In fact, if we look at the root causes of crime, this is something sociologists and criminologists, researchers have all figured out. Not necessarily how to solve them, but they've figured out what the root causes are. They are family structure, poverty, education, and joblessness. So we know, and we've often said, council members and vice mayor and other electeds, that we can't arrest our way out of the issues that we have in our communities. It takes a holistic approach, all hands on deck, where we're all working together, once again, for the greater good of our community. And we're doing some different things in the criminal justice system. We're doing things a little differently than we used to do. The traditional methods of policing have been shifting into progressive principled policing moving forward. And here are just a couple examples. Substance abuse and mental and behavioral health issues. Myself, my other peers in this coalition feel that those should be decriminalized. Because we don't want to put people in jail, we want to give them the help that they need. That's what's going to move our communities forward. So for example, we have created, myself, the district attorney, the probation chief, the sheriff, the public defender, and a few judges have created something called the SAFE Coalition, which stands for Stockton Alliance for Equity. This is moving the entire criminal justice system into a harm reduction method. We want to reduce the amount of harm to make our communities healthier. So that's our goal for things like restorative justice. And I think that has a lot to do with what we're talking about today. You should be proud of Stockton and your county for where we're headed. We've been part of a national initiative for building community trust and justice. We've built the SAFE Coalition. We've also been doing work for the State Attorney General's office. What we're looking to do is connect to the community better in ways that we never have before. You know that police can't do it alone. We all know that the community can't do it alone. We absolutely need one another. And we'll never move that needle without really having our community feel like they can trust not just their government, but their law enforcement officers. Again, I mentioned if we all want something in common, there's nothing we can't do. And again, that is we all want safer communities. My charge to you, the 5 graduates that I got to meet, use your moral compass for direction as you continue in life. Look to God. Never give up in the face of adversity. Trust me, I know what that's like. We all know what that's like. And if we're doing right, we will encounter adversity. There will be challenges that we'll have to overcome. But know you're not alone as you face those challenges and that adversity. Be there for one another. Draw on the strength of others. In fact, if everyone in Stockton mentored one person, lifted up one person, put a hand on the shoulder of one person and directed them on the right path, can you imagine the good that would come of that?
Amen.
So that's a charge for all of us, not just the graduates, but for all of us. If not just one person, and hopefully more, because we all want the greater good for this community. And if sometimes it feels like the issues and the challenges are just too big, they're so big, where do I start? Shrink your world. Do that thing that's within your control, that one person, one issue. Lean on somebody that you can lean on. Take it on one thing at a time. Lean on one another and lean on God. And just know this, you're not alone on your path. And I would guess anybody in this room will help you along that path and walk it with you anytime you want. Again, congratulations. It's my honor to be here.